Hello and welcome to a Ginger Ginge. Now today I'm going to be pulling my fourth clutch of eggs. I'm really excited about this clutch because it's basically the same pairing that I did to my first clutch. So if you do follow me on YouTube and Instagram, you'll see that I've just cut a batch of eggs and that was my butter spinner blast to my Leopard Pastave. Now there was only two sort of snakes I really wanted to hit. I wanted to hit a blue-eyed Lucy and I wanted to hit the Leopard Killer Bee. I actually hit 3 blue-eyed Lucies and I've got what I think is 2 Leopard Killer Bees, which is really good. And the reason I did this other pairing was just I wanted to try and double my odds basically, because I really want to try and hit the Leopard Killer Bee. That's what I'm ideally aiming for. So I think I've already hit it, and if I manage to hit it again in this clutch, then that's absolutely brilliant. It just gives me more to hold back. And then once they do grow up a little bit more as the patterns start to develop and things like that, I can just choose the one that I want. So I did actually manage to get a time lapse of this girl laying, which is absolutely fantastic. I've never actually seen a snake lay a full clutch in person. I've always come into my snake room and either seen the last egg being pushed out or they're sat on a full clutch, so it was really interesting to sit and watch. I don't think she's very happy about me being there, but the room is quite dim. You'll see by the light and it does look quite dark on the screen, so hopefully she wasn't too stressed out by it, but she seems absolutely fine. All the eggs have come out by the looks of it, so I'll roll that for you so you can see that, because it's quite good. And yeah, once you've seen that, we'll get into pulling the eggs and setting them up. So if you've seen me pull my eggs before, if you've watched my videos, you'll know how I do it. Pretty much the same as the way everybody else does it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think she gave me 6 last year, or no, actually the year before that she gave me 6. Just going to unhook that tail and pull her off. There we go. She's completely empty, bless her, all the way down. So all I'm going to do, as I do with all my snakes, just got some temperature warm, room temperature water. Just going to place her in there, just try and get a smell of the eggs off, and for her to have a quick drink as well. So I think she's going to fight me a little bit, but I will put a lid on this. But as soon as she sees that water, as soon as she gets to that water, you can see she's drinking. Let me give you a close up of that. So you can see there, you can see the side of her mouth moving. As soon as you put them in that water, they start drinking. It just shows that it's really important that you do bath your snakes after you collect the eggs, because they spend so long away from the water bowl down at the end where they want to lay the eggs, and they just don't go near the water even if they need to. So that's why it's always important to put your snakes in some water, let them rehydrate, and then give them a wash afterwards. So now we've got her, she's all settled in there. I will put a little top on this just so she can't escape and she'll feel a little bit safer in there because it'll be dark. And we'll get to taking these eggs and getting them all set up. So you've seen my eggs before, you know how I set my egg boxes up. It's pretty simple, to be honest. Got about 200 grams of vermiculite there. And all I want to do is just add 200 grams of water. Then for the next bit, I'm just going to chuck a glove on to mix this up, just because it does get really messy. So it just saves them to go out, wash your hands and come back in. Just give it a good mix around, make sure all the water is dispersed in the vermiculite. And now that's done, I'm just going to leave that for a little while, just to make sure all the moisture does absorb throughout the vermiculite. And I'm going to get to separating and candling the eggs. As you can see, I've marked all the embryos with a circle, and you can see from this actually the female's done a pretty good job. You can see the dashes there. That's where the egg was originally, and then you can see where I've rotated it. Again, you don't have to rotate your eggs. This just proves that the females, they can do a good enough job on their own, and if you leave them where they are, then they will survive just fine, to be honest. It's just a preference to how you like to do your eggs. You can see this one I've spun quite a bit. This one here I've spun quite a bit as well, but the other ones you can see they're pretty much spot on. So again, you don't even have to separate them, but I like to do it just because if you see my previous videos, you'll know that I have had a couple of eggs go bad, and if you do leave them, then there is a chance that mould can go over onto the other eggs. So I like to separate them just to stop that from happening, and just to rearrange them, just because it makes me feel a little bit more confident about the eggs surviving. So now I've got these all sorted and separated, we're going to get them over into the box, get it all labelled up, get the cling film on, and then get it chucked into the incubator. So that's all the eggs in place. You can see they're all separated from each other, and they're not touching the sides either. Generally I don't really get a lot of condensation on the inside of my boxes, which is, it's weird, but I know my humidity is fine because the eggs are absolutely perfect when they come out. So yeah, maybe it's the tubs I use, I'm not entirely sure, but the only time I'll get some humidity on the side of the tub or on the lid is when they're literally about a week away to hatch, and they just start to sort of, they release that fluid from the egg and it just builds up in the condensation on the side. So yeah, so that's how I set my eggs up. I'm going to get the cling film on there, get the top on, and then chuck them in the incubator, and yeah, the countdown begins, the long dreaded countdown. To be honest, it's not too bad now because I've got two other clutches in the incubator ready to go. So you can see in there, that's the clutch that we cut a couple of days ago, and then we've got this clutch here which is due to pip on the 30th I believe, and then we've got this one which is due to pip on the 8th of July. So in between these two, obviously these will be coming out, and then once these have come out I'll be cutting these, and then once these have come out I'll be cutting these, and then hopefully these would have sort of been close to being ready to come out. Plus I've got another clutch that's due in a couple of days, and then I've probably got another 3 or 4 females which are due to ovulate, so I'm just waiting on them. But yeah, it's quite nice when you have the clutches staggered out, that way you've always got something to look forward to. So while I'm messing about with one group of babies coming out, I'll be collecting some eggs and then cutting eggs, and yeah, it's just, I like to try and stagger it if I can. If I could breed all year round and have clutches, if I had a clutch once a month, I'd be over the moon with that, but it doesn't always plan out that way. So get these finished, get these wrapped up, and get them cooking. So that's the eggs all put away and sorted. Now we've done that, I'm going to get the clutch card filled out, I'm going to get the mum sorted out, clean her tub, get her tub back in, make sure she's nice and fresh, plenty of water, and then hopefully we'll try and get her back on feed in a few days time. And yeah, I thought I'd give you a quick look at what the next clutch to be laid is going to be. So I'm going to quickly flip you around and show her. So this is the next one to be laid. So this is my VPI Exantic girl. Now she is due to lay on the 21st, so today is the 20th, so she should be laying tomorrow, well ideally, but she might be another couple of days late. She's not really shown any signs of laying just yet, so it may be a little bit later, but yeah, this is the next one that should be landing hopefully. So that's going to be the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed that little time lapse I had. For me, it was absolutely amazing watching firsthand, watch the whole clutch lay. I've never seen it in person. I've obviously, as I said, I've only ever seen the last egg being pushed out. That's as much as I've ever seen. So it was really nice to watch that and to actually experience it. And I've had that. That's probably one of the first bought. I think that was the third ball python I ever bought, that girl. So it's really nice to see her all these years later producing, doing well, and yeah, just helping me push all my further projects on. So yeah, thank you for watching. My subscribers are slowly going up. I'm really close to hitting that 100 mark. I think I'm on 85 at the time of recording this. So everyone that does subscribe and follow me on Instagram and support me, I really do appreciate it. It just makes everything I do so much more worthwhile. And yeah, if you do have anything you ever want to ask, or if you have any queries, then feel free to message me. I'm always available and I'll try and answer as soon as I can. So thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. No.
Look at the light, look at the light.
Oh.